Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CDL podcast channel. In this episode today, we're going to be talking about the matches from the past weekend, as well as making our predictions. Maybe a little bit of roster stuff. I heard one thing, but I don't think it's going to happen, so probably not today. But if you guys enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. It was probably the craziest weekend we've had so far. I mean, everybody we thought was going to win for the most part, or everybody who was the favorite to win for the most part, didn't win. A lot of top teams got upset by some teams that we did not think were close to their level. So um, it'll be a very very interesting one to review, just because not only do we have some crazy matches to kind of talk about and go into, but also just like some completely out of the blue matches that made no sense in terms of what we thought about these teams going into the weekend. Um, and we're kicking it off with Brad's boys, Miami Heretics, with a 3-0 to kick off the weekend over Vancouver. I mean, just on the side of Vancouver, like they just got ended in like 2 games by Super in 1v3s. Just 1v3s lining up, just overload,
It's so
1v3,
icy.
just I like no idea what they were doing. And it's unfortunate because, coming into this weekend, like after last weekend, seeing like the new look Vancouver, we were like, okay, like there's something here. They looked a lot better with Tej, and then this series against a Miami team who I definitely think Miami is better than what we've seen so far. But I mean, they're not like an unbeatable team. Like if you're the Surge, that's a team you got to be able to compete with.
Yeah,
And
Agreed.
I mean, Miami just takes 2.
Definitely do.
Like, Brad, you want to speak on your boys first?
icy or super so icy. That was some of those 3 pieces were fucking like they should not have happened. I don't know what Vancouver's. I mean, maybe they're just young and they just I don't know, but yeah, that can't happen. But I'm glad they pulled it out because these are the exact matches that Miami needs to win, and I mean they did what they needed to, even though it wasn't the prettiest wins at times, and they didn't look polished. But a win's a win.
Yeah.
It's true.
Rock, thoughts on Miami or Surge or both?
Surge. Wrap it up. No, I was kidding. Shout out
Yeah.
to you. Teachers doing everything he can.
Yeah, I mean, they just overall there just wasn't much to write home about this team. Obviously, like you see across the board, like just not a great series for
Terrible.
anybody on the team. I'm gonna highlight a little bit more of Miami for this one because I mean they had their other match to start off Saturday here where they 3-1 Boston that I have on the screen now, and the one player I guess I want to particularly highlight is Metals. I feel like
Mhm.
Metal's start to the year is the best we've seen him play in a long time, if not ever. Like he's sitting at a 1.01 on the year, but I don't really feel like that does it justice. Metals has been like what they've lacked in slaying in the sub department from losing Real and Trakes. Trakes hasn't been bad, but he hasn't picked up like the Real level slaying slack, and Metals has kind of picked up some of that. Like Metals was more of a consistent point 0.9, which again, if you're playing the right role, a point 0.9, people think like, oh my god, it's below 1, it's so bad. Like, yeah, it's not bad. Like if you're playing the right role, being around a point 0.9, especially as an aggressive sub, is not necessarily a bad thing. But I feel like Metals, just from the eye test and everything, he's picked up his slaying and he's had some like pop off maps, which we've seen before. It just feels like Metals has always had that like pop off ability, but it's just been so up and down. And this year it feels like he's
Mhm.
found a little more consistency. I mean, he led the lobby in damage in this one. Um, yeah, in the map 1, he's 24 and 22 with some of the most damage in the lobby. In the map 3, he's 24 and 21. And it feels like a lot of times we saw Metals, like he had those good games, but he also had games where, he's going 20 and 35 with low damage. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like he's the guy I really want to highlight because I know Super had the big clutches in this series and dropped a 1.4. It was a good series out of him, but Metals I feel like deserves a shout out because he's been very good this year.
Yeah, he has. He's really been impressive.
And I'm still on the same kind of train for Super. I'm not convinced. He's a talented player, and he does the one thing you got to give him props for. He's got a clutch gene. He does. He's like Insight in a way like that. They're like the slow players that like Insight's the same way. Like a slow AR, but like when it's a 1v2, 1v3 in search, you're like, Insight's alive. Like, he can do it. Like, Insight
Winning
has a lot of
it.
clutches. Super's kind of that same way, but I'm still kind of the same thing. Like, they beat Vancouver and Boston this weekend, which is great. Those are teams Miami has to beat if they are going to be who we think they can be. I'm just
Yep.
still not convinced their play style is sustainable to beat top teams. I just think, like, and we'll get to it as we talk about some of the other teams. I think like a team like LAT this weekend and a couple other teams are like, we saw them play at such a fast pace. And I think that's really
Mhm.
what's needed in this game. And I just don't know if Miami has that in them right now with a guy like Super. But
True.
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll see. I agree with Brock. Surge, I think it's time to go find a new AR for Lunars. I don't
Yeah.
think Lunars is necessarily bad. He's just really slow. And like this team, Abe and Gwyn, there's talent there. Tej, I like as their vet for S&D. Like, let's go get a fast AR and let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all can agree this 4 is not going to amount to anything this year. And again, it's unfortunate for Lunars because I do think he has flashes and I don't think he's a bad player. I just think they need more speed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
get a faster
Yeah.
AR in there. Unfortunately,
That is.
Yeah.
with the way challenges is, who knows who's going to take the offer because people are turning down offers.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Our next match, the Riyadh Falcons versus the Gentlemates. This started off the weekend of crazy results, I would say. Maybe not as crazy
Mhm.
as some of the other ones because like Falcons have won 3 in a row and they've looked good. But I would say obviously it's an upset because a lot of people were saying Gentlemates are, top 3 team coming into this weekend, and they still very well may be. But Falcons, and I thought the series was over after map 1. I kind of forgot. I looked at the score
I
on
was
there. I forgot it was that 250 to 55 where they just got dominated. I thought, okay, yep, wrap it up 3-0 Falcons, you stink, and then they just won 3 maps in a row.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm pretty sure I could only watch like part of the first game and then
Yeah,
I know you texted me saying that the Falcons won. Like what?
yeah, because the matches start a little early, so you usually like have to either catch up on VOD and stuff because you're at work for like at least the beginning of the matches. And I think I
Yeah.
texted you like wrap it up. The Falcons are just like they're just done for, and then they won like 3 straight maps. Yeah, but I mean, Falcons continue to show like there's something weird about them. Like I don't know why in my brain on like at like a tournament I don't have faith in them to beat a top team. But then the more I look at the players, I'm just like, maybe it's just like something I have in my head because like Kismet's a big game player. Like Pred, he tends to show up on LAN in some pretty big moments, like and do his thing. Obviously, we know Cell's been to a million finals. And Exonid, who knows? We don't know because he just hasn't really had a chance to be in those situations yet. But I feel like Exon's not a player who's going to shrink in the moment. Seems like a pretty confident player, and he just continues to improve. Like Exon, he's impressing me. He's a good player. Like there's a lot of talent there. And
Solid.
I kind of hope they keep developing him just for this program. Like I said before, like you got to drop him to improve, but screw it. I don't think they are. So there's talent there. I kind of hope they keep developing him because I also like him. He just is so passionate. I love it.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also good to see, Falcons also winning and Sellen's not getting all the kills and stuff like that.
Yeah, this was a really good series from Brad. He was definitely the MVP.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Probably no.
yeah, Ghosty came back to earth, dropping a 1.0, 66 and 66. So he comes back to earth, but I mean, he was due for a series, and it's funny because I was about to say he was due for a bad series. I mean, he had some of the highest damage in the lobby and dropped a 1.0. I wouldn't even consider that a bad series.
Yeah.
But he had a normal series as compared to this whole year. He's just been having an unreal series.
hmm
Brad, do you want to talk?
Yeah,
about
I think
Falcons
this guy.
boys?
Yeah, I think this game was even more of a shocker to me. Like, yes, it's an upset, but like even more shocking, especially how they lost map 1.
Yeah.
Like they got just absolutely clobbered on map 1. And then they come back and I think to touch on your land point, like I think this is like a key point of like them being able to perform on land cuz like I mean, you get 100, not even a 100-point club. You score 55 points in a hard point, and then you come back and you read off 3 straight maps. I think it's a real showing of like how resilient they are, and I don't see that not transferring to land, especially like you said, like all of these guys except for Exon have been there, and Exonid just exudes confidence. Um, But yeah, Pred. It's good to see Pred back because like when Pred is playing good, it's just so much fun to watch. Because like you just watch his cam and he just like gets up and he just like flexing on you and it's just
Passionate.
yeah, exactly. A good Pred is just good for the league and it's just this blew my mind when they just rattled off 3 straight maps. But yeah, no Falcons. I need these points. I need them.
Yeah, the Falcons, I mean, they're just a team that just exudes passion. Kismet's always been kind of a passionate player. Fred, Exnid, Clay's their coach. Clay's always been a really passionate player. Like they just
And they got Celium.
Yeah, then they have Celium to be quiet. But he'll talk some trash though when we get on land. He'll talk a little trash. So
Yeah.
When you understand it.
But yeah, I think about this team and I think about land and I'm like, yeah, man, like Kismet is he's just a big game player. There are certain players like that all the time that you just always trust when it comes to a big moment. Like they're just going to get it done. Kismet's one of those guys. Apathy was always one of those guys. Scump at Champs is always that guy. Kenny's always that guy. Like guys that just like it comes down to a big match at Champs or a big match in a tournament and it's like you know they're going to give you something. Like it's very rare that like there's those certain guys that just like they don't have a good match in those big moments. And Kismet's one of those guys. So when they get to land, yeah. I know they lost this match, but it's their only match of the weekend, so I just want to touch on it quick. I've gassed him up a lot. Actually, there's 2 things I want to touch on for Gentlemates. I've gassed him up a lot, but like it cannot be overstated Neptune's transformation as a player from where he was prior to last year getting picked up, and then like last year's run and this year. Like Neptune was viewed as like a player who had no awareness in game and like didn't know what was going on, and like the mechanical skill that he was talked up to be like didn't seem to translate in game for his first couple stints in the league. And then last year he gets picked up and like you hear like all the guys like Octane, all the like former pros that are on shows and they're like he has one of the best arrows in the league. Like his POV is just like he just makes all the right plays. His POV is so snappy, he's such a good player and it's like dude, his transformation and the hard work that he put in like cannot be overstated. Neptune is like one of my favorite players to watch. He's got everything. He's a really smart player. He seems to be making the right play more often than not. He's also got a crazy good shot. His movement is nice. Like Neptune is just like, I mean, we talked about him as a top free agent. Yeah, we talked about him as a top free agent, but he was overlooked this offseason. Like,
yeah,
this guy is so good, and the fact that he wasn't at the top of everybody's list trying to get him, and it kind of sounds like Gentlemate's just like from what we know, besides maybe like bottom teams offering him who didn't really have a chance, it seems like of all like the top teams out there, like it seems like Gentlemates are like the only ones that looked at Neptune. Like,
yeah,
it's unbelievable. Like this guy he's one of the best subs in the game. He's like legitimately like should be an MVP candidate. I mean, he's sitting at a 1.07 on the year, and his impact is just like insane. Like this guy, as we go on the year, he should be a guy that you have your eye on for MVP. If Gentlemates have a really, really good year, I have a feeling that Neptune's going to be a big catalyst for that. Because as much as Ghosty has good maps, like we all know, the subs impact winning more than anything. So if Gentlemates are winning, it's probably due to Neptune. The other thing I want to talk about is Sib. I just feel like he hasn't found his groove on this team. I think Sib is a really good player, and I think he'll be fine. It just feels like he's a little bit uncomfortable on this team right now for me.
I agree. Yeah. I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Like, he just hasn't put up the normal Sib numbers we're used to seeing. And even when you see him, it just seems like it's a little awkward for him right now. And I'm definitely not calling for a change. I think this team should stick for the entire year. I think they're going to be really good. I think Sib's a good fit. I just think he's a little bit uncomfortable right now, getting used to playing with Ghosty and Neptune and all these new players. I still think he's really good. I think he's a great fit for this team. But I don't know. I just want to call that out. I don't know if you guys felt the same way. I just like he's at like a 0.98 on the year. Like it's not. Again, he's not playing bad. He just doesn't seem like he's not having like his pop off maps like we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, just uncomfortable though. Maybe, starting slow for the year.
That's what it
was. I think last year too he kind of started slow too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He had a really bad like stage 1, and then was like frying in the next couple stages. But like the big thing for me is hard points. Sib's always been a hard point player. In that first map when they 100-point clubbed him, he was 8-17 with 1,500 damage. And then in the map 4, where they got closed out in a close map, he was 24-31. Damage didn't look as bad in that one. He was pretty even with the rest of the lobby. But I don't know, just not finding his groove. Again, I think Sib will be completely fine. He's a really good player. He's just not in a comfortable spot right now, which that's kind of I think in a way you could look at it if you're a Gentlemates fan like Brock. You could look at it
Yeah.
as a positive in a way that Sib is kind of looking like, yeah, he's leaving a little bit to be desired, and the Gentlemates still are this good because I feel like if Sib can get into his groove, this team is going to be unreal.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
agreed.
Uh,
I like this team on LAN a lot.
Same. I think they're going to be. I just love watching Neptune. I hope that team gets a win this year just because I want to. Neptune, this guy deserves a damn win. He got so many seconds last year. His redemption arc, he deserves a damn win. He needs to get a win on the board.
True.
Agreed.
We're back to Brad's boys, the Miami Heretics. Close out Boston Breach. Again, just a good, clean weekend for Miami. Like to see them beating two teams that they should beat.
Yep.
Boston, man.
Choked that game one.
Cammy this weekend. Ooh.
What a
Like-
great series out of Cammy.
He had a better series in the second one. I just pulled it up, but this series out of Cammy was rough. And also just, I mean, like, I don't even need to keep saying what I think about Boston. Just like this team, man. I know they get a win later in the week, but it was against C9. Like, I just not a lot to say out of Miami here. Like, same thing. Like, they just had a good weekend. But Boston, like,
Something's got to change.
yeah, like we got to make a change.
I loved the meme that came out where it was like Nasty's like that Lamborghini in like the crappy house in Shed or whatever.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, Nasty's been very good this year. Nasty, it's kind of weird
Yeah.
because Nasty's like been an improvement over what Wake was for them last year, but the rest of the team hasn't like kept up. And I mean, Boston is 3-3. It's not like they're like getting destroyed and losing every match. They're the same team as they were last year, dude. Like they beat the
Yep.
bottom teams, they lose to any team that's better than them, and they'll pull off a random upset here and there. Like
Yep.
their
And all of
ceiling
them
is
don't
just so
play
limited.
the best at the same time.
Oh yeah, I told you guys I was gonna save this for you. I didn't want you to look at it. What do you guys think Purge S&D KD is so far this year? Just strictly S&D.
Like a
SCD.
one.
I would say a high point nines.
High point nines. Brad, you said what?
Like a 1.
He is at a 0.72.
What?
Pretty good.
With one plant.
You're not even
One
planting a
plant.
bomb or getting kills.
Yeah.
Nice.
His teammate, however, though, Snoopy is leading the league in plants with 18. So
Maybe should be a little bit backwards.
yeah, and I mean, one thing we know about Purge is like his calling card was S&D. Like
Yep.
he struggled a little bit slaying wise in respawn. He was just a good S&D player. He's been struggling on S&D. He's been struggling in respawn. He's just like, I feel like we've seen what Purge is. You know, like he's a player that he has pop off moments and he looks awesome, and then he has moments where he just struggles in respawn, struggles to slay consistently, and I just don't know, man. Like even in the series they win, he has a 0.87. I know he does a lot of the map, and Purge is a really smart player, but just this Boston team, I just don't see them having the ceiling to take out top teams consistently enough to like make a lot of runs.
Yeah.
It's the same thing every week. We talk about the same thing every week for this team.
I don't
What
see
happened
him
to Cold War Cammy?
Yeah,
Dang.
he came to a crashing halt this series.
We played raid one time and they called him Core Cammy.
He came to a crashing halt. But I don't know. You guys have any different thoughts on Boston?
Nah, help Nasty, dude.
They need a change, but I'm not entirely sure if that's possible.
What would you change
for them?
I'm not saying you to say a specific player, but like which players or player are you dropping on their team?
I'm definitely dropping Cammy for sure. I don't know how he just keeps staying
I don't know how
on teams.
I don't know how he's stayed on this team for so long, to be honest with you. I was surprised Cammy and Wake stay on that team for as long as they did.
He had a rough map on, but what was it? It was the map 4. He had a 31-13 performance in the map 4 that really boosted his numbers in their second series. But I agree, like his second series can't save him. Nasty's been awesome. I don't know who the best challengers they is that's available. I know like Neum and Aluka are kind of like flex players, and they're both picked up. But like, I don't know, man. Like, we got to get somebody on this team. Like, everybody keeps talking about Tyler Fellow for Vancouver instead of Lunars just to bring some pace and comms and like leadership for that team because they need it. I don't think that's a shout for Cammy because I just think they need some damn kills. And apparently Wake's frying in challengers. Screw it. He's got chemistry with Purge and Snoopy. Bring Wake back for Cammy. Maybe you dropped the wrong AR. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we got to find a way to get some more kills in this lineup. It's just not going to work if we can't get more kills. And the sub duo, I don't know. Brock, what are you doing? If you're the Boston Breach GM, I'm not saying like you have, because we don't want to have you dig through challenges, but like if there's a good replacement, imagine there is a good replacement for all 4 players out there. Like you don't have to replace all 4 of them, but who are you dropping?
Purge.
Anybody else or just him?
I really want to drop Purge and Cammy. I think Nasty and Snoopy are good enough.
2-man change?
Yeah,
Brad, or
2-man change.
you on the same page or something different? Or no
I,
change? You
I
can say
agree
no
with
change.
Cammy 100%. I agree with Cammy. In my eyes, I don't know if you're gonna like Purge is so up and down, but at the same time, like I just don't see anybody that maybe can replace Purge at this point, and anybody who's like in the price range for Boston to like replace Purge, because Purge is, like you said, a smart player, and I mean, at what point do you say, sure, like we've seen enough? But like I don't know if you can necessarily replace Purge at this point in time.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
I'm sure you can find someone else that could just as well and shoot a gun
I was
better.
gonna say, I think you can find somebody that can drop a .85 and play the game the right way out there. Like, there's enough veteran subs that are sitting at. Like, I think Standy could easily come in. Like, I don't know if his communications is good, but I think you could pick up like a guy like Standy and he could
True.
fill this team better. I mean, I was gonna try to see if I could find stats for challengers. I wanted to see something, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably making a 2-man change, Cammy and Purge. I think Cammy's the first one to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are. CDL Challengers stats. Their overall kills and deaths. The top KD in all of Challengers right now is Lynn's, a 1.39. My God, is that Kicks in number 2?
King of body.
Awakening's got a 1.29 in 3rd. Cobra's got a 1.28 in 4th. Dahoom is 6th. Roxas is 7th. Oh my God, the Falcons boys. Geo's
They're
sitting in
back.
8th. Brezzy's in 9th. Brezzy's still playing. Oh, Johnny.
Wait, I look you
1.14.
forgot. I look you forgot Geo like play challenges still.
He's got 1.2 on the year.
But bring him in for Cammy. He'll fucking
Yeah,
get
bring Gio in
kills.
for Cammy.
I know he's got some other issues in game playing, but like also Renegade needs to be shouted out. A 1.1 just walking over from Halo, like that guy's been playing well.
That's pretty good.
2 Real sitting out there at a 1.1. 2 Real could easily bring what Purge is doing.
Yeah.
You know, for all the prop Luka got, he's 26th in challengers in KD. Eric Boom, Spart, Standy, Kips. That guy on Kips. That guy's talented. I think he's more of an AR, or I don't remember, but he's on Nate. Everybody talks about Nate on Omid being a really good player. Like Asim's chilling out there for his 100th team. Like, I don't know. Like, if I'm Boston, I'm hitting up Geo and Awakening because they're both frying and they have experience. I'm hitting up Geo and Awakening to replace Cammy, one of the two, and I'm hitting up Johnny or I don't know.
But low-key, hit up Johnny. He'll run in first for Purge and get more kills.
He'll run with Snoopy. Him and Snoopy would set some pace. Like, I'm hitting up Johnny and then either Wake or Geo. Just give me kills. Like, I trust this team to play fundamentally sound. Just go find me kills. Like, that's what this team needs. They need to speed up. Like, if there's anything we're learning from this weekend, the teams that play fast are the teams that win. Like, this is like a jetpack COD in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Like, Boston needs, like, not Cammy, needs Nasty to get all the kills for them to even win.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? This is a perfect segue into speaking about the playing fast thing. The next series I have pulled up is Royal Ravens versus Toronto Koi. Toronto Koi, this was a theme for this weekend. If you won map 1, you were screwed. They won map 1, 250 to 159, and Ravens win a 6-5 search, a 3-1 overload, and a 250 to 152 hardpoint. And it's just been the name of the game. The Ravens have sped up so much since last year retired in their 3 matches with Exceed. They've won all 3, and They are flying around the map, and Exceed deserves a lot of props. He had a 1.2 on the series. Like
Look
he
at that
deserves a lot of
PK.
damage.
props, man. I did not have faith in him. I mean, I'll admit I did not have faith in him to perform this well with this team, and he's proven a lot of people,
I
including me, wrong. Like he's been awesome.
Mhm.
We'll see
I
if
also
they can
don't
keep
have
it
the
up.
faith in him.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep it up. But like, do you guys agree? Like when you watch this team, Crimsix always said it, and I'll trust Crimsix. He's the goat. Like it's something I've always believed. When we play ranked, I talk about this, and like when we're playing, I'm like, if you're gonna, I would. It's better to do something decisive and fast, and it be wrong, and just like hit it together, than it is to like be indecisive and I don't know what I'm gonna do, and just like play slow. Like it's better to just go. Just like when you're like COD is such
Run.
a simple game. Like there are obviously ways to make the wrong play and the right play, but like when in doubt, bang the hill. Like
Yep.
just go. Like that's the way to play COD. And people overthink, and I think maybe that was an issue for Slasher is he was too smart for his own good for this kind of game. Like he was trying to play the correct way, and like Slasher knows the correct way to play COD. This isn't a slight to Slasher, but like I think he was maybe trying to like put too much of a structure in, and you just got to turn off your brain in some of these fast CODs sometimes. And it's unfortunate for a guy like
Mhm.
Slasher because like he knows how to play the game better than almost anyone. He's got such a great system. He's taught so many players the ropes, and it's just like, unfortunately for him, this was a game where you could bounce off the wall, fly, and like you got to turn off your brain and just go sometimes. And it feels like, not saying Carolina's like a brain dead team or something, but they're playing so fast, and like in this game, that seems to be the way to roll. Like just fly, just go.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make a play, make it fast and make it together. Like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and that's what Carolina's
I mean,
doing. And man, they look good.
and the players they have, they're fast players.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, I could definitely see why, if they're struggling with Slash trying to make them slow down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I feel like they're just playing looser now, just like without that structure, and they're just kind of flying and going. And we know like I've been really impressed with Craze, man. Uh he looks really, really good. And in the map too, he set the kill record with 16. He was just running it down. He was
I
getting a
just
ton of
noticed
three
that.
pieces, and like I've been really, really. I know, like if you look at his numbers in the series, like he had like a good bit of damage, and he was 90 and 90 overall. But like I feel like he sets pace. He seems to be like be a smart player, making the right plays. He's clearly got gunny. Like Craze is a really he's as advertised in my mind. He's a really good player.
Yep.
Like that guy's going to be a submachine gun in the league for a long time. I just hope Carolina can continue to have success. So he's not one of those players that like gets buried in like a team that was really bad, and like he just doesn't get another shot because he was on a really bad team. Like I hope Carolina can keep this up because I want to watch Craze play for a while. He's a really good player.
Agreed.
I want to shout out that damage. Look at how like the whole entire team is like right around that like 10 range. Like if that doesn't scream just like they're playing together and they're playing fast, like I mean I love to see that. That's so awesome.
Yeah, like again in COD, if you're gonna do something, just do it together. Like it's the
Mhm.
name of the game. If you're gonna do something, just do it together. Like if we've all four of us hit the hill, like odds are we're gonna come out in a trade battle, and maybe there'll be one left. We lose the trade battle, but like probably not gonna get four piece if you all four of you hit it together. Like you're gonna do
Yep.
something in COD, do it together. It's a lot simpler game at times, and like I mean, I'm
Once you
gonna
line up for accuracy.
yeah, unless you line up for accuracy. Uh, I'm gonna just like brush this one off for Toronto. We've seen them have some impressive wins, and Carolina's playing really well right now. I mean, we'll keep our eye on it, but like Kleenex just had a rough series, and Kleenex has that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I have no doubts in my mind that Kleenex will bounce back, and Toronto will be fine. I'm not worried about them. Carolina, they just look awesome right now.
They really do.
I hope they can
One
keep
last
it
thing
up.
I'll say is how does Crazy and Baba down on the same team as a duo?
Yeah,
Because they're both good.
we're about to talk a few matches still to talk about Mamba, but yeah, Mamba is very good as well.
Yes, he
I don't
is.
know. The only thing I can think of is maybe those two didn't want to play together. Because I don't know how you could be a team
Mhm.
like Carolina who never gets the top players because you're not paying much, or a team like G2 who got Mamba. Like, there is no way. Something has to be up because there's no way Craze took this team. Like, unless maybe like G2 was like, no, we are keeping Estriel and we want Kremp. And like, they didn't have room for another
Yeah.
sub. But like, I hope people were offering the two of these guys like a deal together, unless maybe they didn't want to play together for some reason. But it seems like they're still good friends. Like they have like friendly banter and stuff. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I agree with you. How did those two not get put together? The next series we can brush over pretty quick. FaZe Cloud9. This was a slamming. I mean, this was FaZe showing that, they're one of the better teams in the game. Obviously, they had a weird result later on Sunday, but I mean, this was not close. FaZe they took it to C9. Like,
Just more talented.
yeah,
Mhm.
just a talented FaZe just dominating. 0-4, awesome series. Whole side of FaZe, awesome series, and just a
Clean.
bad series for the whole side of Cloud9. Like,
My God. 0-4 out of 169.
yeah, he was
Oh,
frying.
first good.
0-4 is, dude, he is
realize
really
that
good. He
Yeah.
throws up like he did have in the other series they played this weekend. He throws up some stinker maps, but he's a really good player.
Yep,
He's a nice fit with Sim too.
Yeah.
I like their fit together.
I agreed. I was gonna say something, but I'm not.
Say, Brock.
No, it's just funny.
We're back to Cloud9 with our next series. It went from bad to worse for Cloud9. They get reverse swept after getting stomped. They reverse swept
Heartbreaker.
by Boston. Beans had a pretty nice series. Other than that, not a lot to highlight. Mac and Vivid, not with like bad series. Afro, unfortunately, throws up like one of his few bad series he's had this year. He's been really good up to this point. Nasty had another blinder. He had an awesome series, and we see a reverse sweep out of the Boston Breach. Again, we've kind of talked about both these teams, so if you guys have anything, I'll let you go. But like, it's the same thing. Same story as always for Boston and C9. Same story for them as well. They're just Minnesota from like the last stage of the year last year, where they just lose every game 5. They get to game 5 every time, and they just lose it pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Didn't
know.
look good first two maps.
Yeah.
Can't close out.
Yeah, just like there's
Nothing
not
else to
much
say.
them. Like, just two teams. that I just-
Beans is impressed.
Beans
Yeah.
is good.
Beans is good, but
He's also looked good to snipe.
yeah, he has looked good with the snipe. What is Beans chilling out of the year? What do you think Beans' overall KD is in the year?
It's probably. I think I saw this before. I'd say high 0.9s.
I was thinking like a 1.02.
0.94. Started with Draza and Lunars and
Gosh,
shottzyy.
darn it.
Shottzy's at 0.94. Yeah,
I see it.
not nearly as good as you might have thought. I'm trying to pull up their overall stats as a team. I'm trying to look at something. Yeah, Beans Afro's at a 0.98, Beans at a 0.94, and Vivid and Mac are both at 0.9s. So again, like, they have a redundant issue on their team of just they have a lot of role players, and they just don't have like a star. Like, they have like specifically Mac, Vivid, like those two are awesome glue guys. They're just like being asked to do too much for what their role is on this team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just not a whole lot else to say about these two teams. We had a banger in the next series on Sunday, though. G2 takes down FaZe in a crazy upset because FaZe is one of the hottest teams in the game right now. They were 4-1 coming into this match. They won a bunch in a row. They won 4 in a row. Like, they were looking awesome. And Kremp takes them down on Kremp losses. Like, the G2, it was nice to see them win one of these series where they have a lot of close maps.
Yes.
And like all year, G2 has been like, their record was 1-4, but we were like, they're not actually that bad. And then like every week we'd say the same thing, like, they're not that bad, and they just keep losing. And like, it was nice to see them beat a really good team like FaZe. Because like, again, like, when I watch this G2 team play, like, they aren't a bad team. Like, Kremp has been awesome this year. Like, Mamba, I think, is a really good player. Skies has been shaky, but he had a nice series in this one. He was really, really good
He
in
looked
this
insane.
Estriel has been a little bit lackluster for me. I know this series he was at a 0.94. It wasn't a terrible series for him, but like, overall he's been a little bit lackluster, but he still had his moments where he's been good. But Kremp and Mamba, man, this is a nice duo, and I think Estriel is a solid player. And I mean, I don't think you're going to be getting a 1.2 from Skies consistently, but like, if Skies can play closer to this than he has been, like the rest of the year, it's been rough for him. If he can play closer to this level and be more around a 1, I mean, he is 47th in KD out of 50 listed players, and 2 of the players below him are Slasher and Legend. The only guy that's actively playing below Skies is Purge. And that's even with this 1.18 included in those stats. So like, if Skies can just raise that ceiling a little bit higher, closer to this, I'm not expecting this, but if Guys can sit around a 1 and do their dirty work. Like G2 again, like I do think they're better than their record shows. I still have faith in this team to compete for a champ spot and be a pretty solid team with this roster. I wouldn't make a change. I think the leadership of Skies is needed on this team for now, unless he just keeps throwing up stinkers. But this is a big win for them. Like, they needed this one, and I don't think they're going to make winners just because there are 9 teams that have 3 wins already, and they play, I got it up here, they play Toronto, so pretty tough, but... Anything else in this one? Again, I'm just going to say FaZe was due for just a rough series, and it was the weekend of upsets, so I'm not losing faith in FaZe.
Yeah,
although
I mean,
I'll
say
Luca.
Ooh, Draza. I would say, Abuza had his way with the sniper and that raid.
That's right. He had that ace on the raid that was nuts in top bedroom.
I don't know how that 4th player that he was aiming at did not hit either at first.
Yeah, that he like barely misses and then he like slid out and he killed him. This guy's match MVP was crazy. Not expecting that coming into this one. But yeah, that was a good shout out that you had there. He did have a crazy sniper ace. I almost forgot about that for a sec. And also in that map too, they lose in round 11 and Simp goes 1-9. Again, I'm not going to count on Simp going 1-9 and too many more searches this year. I don't think that's going to be the case.
You're not wrong.
Because he's just been awesome overall this year. This was his first like really bad series of the year. But yeah, I'm not going to lose faith in FaZe. Still think they're really good. And G2, it was nice to see them finally get a win on the board. Last series of the weekend. 3-1. The side of LAT. I picked it. I was right. 3-1 for LAT.
Gotta give you your flowers.
Dominant fashion. Dominant series out of the series MVP. Mr. Kenny. Dominant series out of him.
Ken was frying.
This is the LAT we all thought we were going to see when this team formed. Like, Ken was frying. Interestingly enough, what I didn't think I would see is a BZ had an AR like the entire series. That was really weird. They were running 3 ARs and Hydra was like the only sub pretty much like the entire series. Granted, they played respawns on Exposure, and Scar. So like bigger maps. But, like that was weird to see a BZ with an AR the whole time, and he played well with it.
Yep. If I would have thought going into the year, I thought maybe Hydra would go to the flex.
For like on the 3 AR maps. Yeah, I would agree with you. Like that just makes sense. A BZ is like the entry sub, the sub. Like he'd never pull out an AR unless it was like a really specific situation. Yeah, I would agree with you there. Kenny second in the lobby in damage behind Scrap, who also had a really good series. This was just overall like they kind of trolled, and obviously it was kind of. I thought the map 1, I was getting so hyped because Kenny was just frying in that map, and then he scammed on the final hill, and he like slid out too far and shelled off the tank on P2. Yeah, P2.
P2. Yep.
And he scammed, and I was like, dude, is this how the series is going to go? Like, Kenny is frying, and then he's just going to scam the map away in that map 1, and like, then they're going to struggle, and I was like, no way. And then they dominated maps 2 and 3, not even close, and then they come out and win a nice map 4. But, dude, like, the post-game interview with Kenny was really telling to me. He kind of was like, I stopped trying to think so much about the team game, and I just kind of, like, played for myself and, like, focused on myself a little more. And I do think, like, I've kind of tried to find the right words to say that. And that's kind of what I've been saying about Kenny, is I feel like he's been way too focused on trying to get, like, the team on the same page, and he's worrying too much about that instead of just playing. Like, and I think that is like an issue for some. I think that might have been an issue Slasher was having, this year too. Like, I think that's an issue some of these veteran players that are trying to like be in-game leaders and leaders for their team like struggle with is like, I mean, I don't know as much about games like CS, but I know in CS you have like an IGL who's like shot calling everything, and I think in general like their numbers aren't as good because they're so focused on other stuff. I think it might be the same in Valorant, but like in COD, like that isn't a thing. You can't have a guy like being an IGL and dropping a 0.7 every series. Like, you've got to pick up the slack in terms of slaying. Like, you can't do that like you can in those other games.
Yeah.
But, man, like, this was just an awesome series from Ken. Like, there's no other way to put it. We'll talk about OpTic in a second, but before I get more thoughts, I'll let you guys go. OpTic, Thieves, whatever you want to talk about, because the OpTic subs, oof, Like,
Yeah.
it's been bad this year.
I would just like, I guess my big thing is like every single OpTic match I've watched this year is like their overloads look abysmal. Like they look lost. Just they have no idea what to do. Like for instance on this one, they I think they kill three and the other guy just spawned up and they had it like on like their backside and it was on top of the solar panel and I think it was Huke hopped up there to get it and then they just played their back spawn while all four were up but they had three dead and it's like they're playing so indecisive and like you said this game is incredibly fast and obviously I know it's a new mode and everything but like you got to just play together, I mean, you guys are back-to-back world champs. You guys should have the chemistry, play fast, play together, and just go. Because like, there's no way that you should be playing back when you have three dead and all four of you are up. Like, push it towards the scythe. And I mean, you have advantage at that point. Like, I don't know what is going on over there. It just seems like they have no energy right now. I watched the Scump watch party or whatever, and it's just like Scump walked by both rooms, Thieves in Texas and OpTic, and he was like, Thieves sound really fired up, and OpTic like I couldn't hear him. Like it just seems like every single time we get into a comm check with OpTic, it's just they're they're too calm, I guess, if that makes sense. Like it just doesn't. It seems like they're lacking energy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
weird right now.
Brock, I want to hear your thoughts on this, but I think it's, to me, the problem right now with OpTic is like pretty clear cut. It's the subs. The subs right now are just not playing well.
Yes.
Like Merc has been awesome this whole year. I mean, even this series, like on the surface, it looks rough, but he also had 12,000 damage. Like he was doing damage, he just wasn't finishing some of the kills.
Yeah.
But Merc's at what? He's third in the league with a 1.17. He's obviously, we all know Merc's been awesome this year so far. And Dashy, he had a rough series here, but like he's been very good this year. He's at a 1.04 in the year. I mean, you've got Huke sitting at a 0.95 and shottzyy sitting at a 0.94 this year. They're sandwiched around Tej. It's Huke, Tej, shottzyy. Like Craze, Estriel, Xnid, Lurks, Afro. These guys are all above Trakes. These guys are all above shottzyy and Huke in terms of their KD on the year and guys that we don't necessarily expect.
Trace is above.
Yeah, Drake's at a 0.99. Like, and it's not just like the KD aspect. Like, they just like they don't seem to be having the same impact on the map. Like, I feel like Huke's playing a little more timid than we're used to, and he's just usually like a go go go. And like, shottzyy just is not finding the routes like he normally does. He hasn't been as impactful. And like, I'm not hitting the panic button. Like, I think those two will figure it out as they always do. It's just they just don't look that good right now. And I think, in Brad, you were talking about how their overload doesn't look, particularly great. I think a pretty shocking thing for the OpTic Texas side, they have played 16 respawns. What do you guys think their record is? So their record across hardpoint and overload is 16 respawns. They're 4-2 this year as an overall record. They played 16 respawns.
Their record, like
10-8.
16 respawns. 10-6.
8-6.
6-10.
They're 10 or they are 8-8.
Oh.
So 500 in respawn. And funny enough, they're 5-5 in hardpoint and 3-3 in overload. Like they're just 500 across the board in their respawns, which depending on the team isn't necessarily bad, but if you're OpTic, I expect you to be one of the best hardpoint teams in the game, just looking at the players on paper.
Oh, yeah.
And overload, I know it's a new mode, so I'm cutting all teams for the most part slack in overload because they are learning. Like LAT until this series looked horrible in overload, but I don't think that like I think their team can be good at overload. Like these four players on either of these teams can be good at any game mode at any time. Like these are four incredible players on both teams. But OpTic just an 8-8 overall record in respawn. I mean, they're 5-2 in search, which is like flip the script of like all of the OpTic teams that have been good for basically all of time have been like dominant hardpoint teams, dominant map 3, and they've struggled in search. Right now they flipped the script. Their search and destroy is saving them at 5-2. I mean, I just wouldn't expect the team that's 4-2 to be 8-8 in respawn. But I don't know. OpTic, I think they're going to figure it out, but it is rough to lose to a team like LAT, who is probably on the brink of a roster change potentially if they lose this match. But again, like we got to give a shout out to Kenny. Like I've been defending him with my life. I feel so good not having to come on here to look at another 0.6 and defend him. I just like I think he finally just was able to play his game like he said, and you could see it. Like he was playing like Kenny. He was chowing and like he was taking some chows that were a little bit crazy because that's how Kenny plays. Like he ego chows and like he comes from the
Just
school
trying
of
to find
ego chow
timings.
too. Like he doesn't scam a lot, but like he'll ego chow you. Like and
Yeah.
like they seemed more energized. Like they were all gassing up Ken when he was frying them, and like I don't know, man. Like he's just a really, really good player, and I think they're like. I hope this is a propelling match for LAT, and I think this week they have a pretty favorable schedule. Yeah, they play Boston, who is 3-3, kind of whatever, and then they play Carolina, which will be a nice test because Carolina's playing really well right now. But it just. I was looking for the Kenny gas in the timeline. People weren't ready to gas him yet. They were like, "Oh, it's one series," but and he was back this weekend, and I hope he can keep it up and keep playing his game because obviously I don't think Kenny's going to drop a 1.3 all year because that's not really his role in this team. But like he can play with that confidence and keep moving. Like he was so good in this series. He was the clear cut MVP of this series. And he just again like I was talking to people. I was talking to our boy Jake Maverick this week, and I'm just like, dude, like you got to let this team get to LAN. Like this team cannot break up because that's the one thing I want to talk about. Whether it's Thieves, OpTic, whoever it is, like the weight we put into these online matches for how little we have them is insane. Like we put so much weight in. Like I heard Dashy talking about it on I think the OpTic podcast. He was like, dude, when all the noise happened with Thieves, it was going into the holiday break, and you would have thought that they were the worst team of all time. Do you know what their record was when everybody was like screaming to change? They were 2-1. Like they were 2-1. And then they were 2-2, and now they're 3-2. Like you would think that LAT is 0-5. Based on the way you heard people talking about
Good
them and how
thing.
badly they need to make a change. Like they were 2-1 when everybody was screaming for Kenny to get dropped. Like
Yeah.
this
It's
team
because people just want them to be so good so fast.
well, and like I heard Methods talking about it, I think, and it was a really good point he made, saying like, back in the day, if you were struggling, like he's like, I had plenty of moments in my career when I was struggling. If you were struggling, like back when we were playing, you got to go to a tournament and you had 4 matches in the first day. And it was like maybe you have a
Yep.
bad match, but then you get to start building momentum and you get to kind of like play with your team and you win a couple matches and you guys are feeling it. Now you think about it, Kenny just played his 5th match in the year a month into the season. Like, and they had 1 match this weekend and they're playing
That is
OpTic.
crazy
Like,
to think about.
what if they would have got rolled this series? Like it's hard to gain momentum as a player when you're struggling and you get 1 match because all of a sudden you have a bad map 1 and it's like, oh god, like here we go again. And I don't care who you are, like you can have confidence issues if you're getting fried and you're just not playing well. Like, you can have confidence issues and that stuff can creep into the back of your head. Like only getting to play 1 match a weekend, like for a month straight, like it's hard to gain momentum. Like
True.
because who knows? Thieves
It
could
ain't
come
the
out like
NFL.
this. Yeah. Thieves could come out like this, and then they might get fried next weekend by Boston. Like, because you don't get to get rolling, and like, you gotta let this team get to LAN, dude. Like, I don't care what anybody says about Kenny. He's a big game player, and damn it, like this LAT team has needed a big game player for a long time. Like, I would say
For
like
sure.
the scrap teams have needed a big game player for a long time because like we saw it in the champs final, and that gets brought up a lot, and like Scrap is incredible and he gets his teams there, but he feels like he hasn't had a guy to like be a big game player and a closeout player until last year with like guys like Hydra and especially Envoy. And look what they did. Like they obviously had a disappointing end of the year, but they won 2 events. Like they're able to close stuff out and then it gets to champs and they're just not able to do it. I like to see him with a guy like Kenny who's been there, done that, like been to like the most champs finals damn near of any player. I'm just so happy for the LA Thieves. I was really hyped watching that match.
Just look at Kenny, what he did with OpTic 2 years ago.
Yeah, like he turned that team that
In that
could
champs
not close
finals.
anything. That team could not close. It was a story of that team. They could
They
not
were so
close.
bad at closing.
And he comes in, and I remember the turning moment of that champs finals that OpTic won was the map 1. At the end of that Karachi,
Yep.
Kenny took over. He took over in the final, like 50 points of that Karachi map 1, and just fried. And then they never looked back. Like he's a big game player, and this team, like give them time. Abizi hasn't been good this year. Hydra hasn't been very good this year. Kenny hasn't been very good this year. But like, again, I will take a career-long sample size of all three of those guys being awesome MVP level players, as opposed to 4 online matches where they struggled. Like, give them time. Also, looking at the advanced stats, Kenny's at a 0.93 on the year, even with those like bad series he had. What if I would have told you going into this year, predict Kenny's KD on this team if they spend the whole year together? You have no idea how the results are going to be, but predict it. What would you guys have predicted?
0.9 to 0.5.
I would say 0.9 around
Yeah.
there.
I would say somewhere from
That's
like
what you need to do.
I would say like 0.92 to 0.97 was like kind of like the range I would expect him to be in because he's playing with Hydra, Abizi, and Scrap. I expect all those guys to be well over. I expect Abizi just because of the pace, like a 1.05. I expect Hydra and Scrap over a 1.1. And like at some point, there's only so many kills to go around because if Kenny's also at a 1.05, that team's never losing because they're all just frying. Like I expect Kenny to just be doing a lot more dirty work. 0.95. It was interesting too. In this series, map 1, Beezy had 52. Kenny was the guy kind of sitting in the hill. He was doing it all. And then in the last map, Beezy had over 2 minutes in the hill. And Hydra was allergic to that thing. But he was getting kills. Yeah. Just really nice to see. I don't think it's time to panic for OpTic, but really nice to see Kenny and the boys have a good weekend. All right, let's move on.
I can't wait for Major 1.
I know, same. For some reason in my head, I thought we had 2 weeks of qualifiers left, but this is the final week. So yes, I am also super, super excited. What's the actual weekend? What's the actual dates of the tournament? What's that weekend? It is so it's December. It's like the last weekend of
30th.
It's the 30th to the 1st.
31st.
Yeah. So that last weekend. They picked a good weekend because it's the weekend between the conference championships and the Super Bowl too for the NFL. So there's no playoff games kind of taking, viewership away. Kind of like how they have the champs final planned for the World Cup final day, and that's just the whole world's gonna be watching the World Cup final. It's gonna rip all the viewers from COD.
Yeah.
Not that those
that's
are
so
not
true.
that COD's even remotely competing with the World Cup final, but like just kind of funny how they plan that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got our predictions for this final week. I'm really excited for the major as well. What did you guys have last week for points in your predictions?
No good. 11 points again.
I had 10.
I had a little 18. I had a bad week in week 3, but I had a little 18 piece because that Thieves result really helped me. There was a double points match and I got the map count right. I got the other 2 matches on Sunday wrong. I went 1 for 2 on Friday, 2 for 3 on Saturday. My big thing was I got all the double points matches right. That helped a lot.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. I had a legendary week 1 and week 2, and it's just been a gradual fall off.
Yeah, I had a solid week 1 and week 2, and then I had a bad week 3. And I feel like 18 points is normally not a great week, but I feel like 18 points this week was probably really good because there were so many upsets that there were not a lot of people that picked G2 over FaZe. I don't think a lot of people picked Carolina over Koi. I don't think a lot of people picked Falcons over Gentlemates. You know what I mean? So I don't think a lot of people picked Thieves over OpTic. So I don't think it was a very good weekend for the whole community because we were looking at some of those percentages. I don't think a lot of people got many of those right. This week, I mean, got some bangers. Like honestly, Friday. This is definitely the best 2-match Friday we've had. Some really good matches. I mean, we look at it. We got Carolina, who's red hot right now, playing an OpTic who looks a little bit shakier. That should be a really good match, kind of a good test of where Carolina's at. And the second match, 2 of our top teams, we think, in Gentlemates and Koi. Looking at the Major 1 qualifier standings too, like there are 3 teams in Falcons, OpTic, and Vegas, like pretty much locked into winners. And then teams 4 through 9 all have 3 wins. So depending on how, map counts go, some of them are 3 and 2, so that gives them advantage over teams like Miami and Boston, who are 3 and 3 with the extra loss. But a lot of teams with 3 wins, G2 sitting at 2 and 4, so they're probably out unless maybe they 3-0 Koi and a lot of other things go their way. But interested to see here, like if Carolina is able to beat OpTic, they're for sure going to be in winners bracket because that'll be their 4th win. But
Yeah.
where are you guys leaning? Carolina versus OpTic? You think Carolina stays hot, or you think OpTic gets back on track? 95% of the community's on OpTic.
Damn.
I have a
I
3-1 for OpTic.
No way, Brad.
Hey,
I don't have.
you got to figure it out at some point.
I have a game 5 OpTic takes against this Royal Ravens team.
I am on the same page as Brock. I'm going to go game 5 to OpTic. I do think Carolina are red hot right now, but I do think they kind of have to come back to earth at some point. Like I do think they are a good team. I just don't think. I think the run of people all like a lot of people are putting them in their top, 5, top 4, top 3 in their power rankings. I do think they're really good. I'm not ready to say they're like a top 3 team. I think OpTic maybe gets back on track and takes them out.
Yeah.
Second match, our last match. It feels weird to say second match is the last match on Friday. But it's the Paris Gentlemates going up against Toronto Koi. 2 teams looking for a bounce back that had unexpected losses last week. Where do you guys think the community's at in this one? I'll say it's pretty lopsided.
I think
say probably 80
Gentlemates?
Gentlemates for some reason.
71%
Gentlemates.
Gentlemates, which I feel like 71 for this matchup of 2 teams that are pretty close. We think it's pretty 71's pretty lopsided. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock, start with you. Your boys. We still call them LAG just for you. You think they're gonna take down Koi?
My boys and the mates. I think all these maps are gonna be very close, but I think I have Toronto winning in game 5.
What? Brock, are you okay over there?
Winning in game 5 for Brock?
I really thought I was gonna be different here, but I'm going with a 3-1 Toronto.
I was thinking game 5 either way, and since both of you went with Toronto, I'm gonna go with Gentlemates. I just think these are 2 right now. I do think this is truly like a hard series to be confident in. I think they're both good teams that had a down week last week, so it's kind of a little bit hard to predict. I think Gentlemates are a better team, like overall. So that's why I'm gonna go with Gentlemates. I just think they're a better team overall. Like I like the sub duo. I like the sub duo on both teams a lot because Joe is still just like again awesome this year. But I don't know, something about Neptune, man. I love that guy. He's just like I'm going 3-2 for the side Gentlemates.
See, for me, it's like I don't see Clemsix dropping another bad series like how he did, and I think he's gonna bounce back. And just like obviously you have Insight, who's the master of just consistency, and then Joe. I just think that Paris, I feel like, is down a little bit right now, and Toronto, I just feel like with the players that they have, they're have a much more consistent floor. And then I just don't think that Clemsix is going to go what do you do 69 and 80, which isn't even that bad, but I don't think he's going to do that again. I think he's going to be right around the 1 again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a toss-up either way. I wouldn't be surprised to see either team win.
Yeah.
Boy are right back at it. They're the first match on Saturday. They play G2, who's fresh off an upset of FaZe from this past weekend. I mean, kind of looking at the standings, G2 have a very outside chance of making winners bracket. I think they should technically still be alive because if they win this, they'd be 3-4. They'd probably need like Boston to get beat pretty badly, like 3-0, and Miami to potentially get like 3-0'd, which looking at the teams those 2 are playing isn't like crazy far-fetched. Like LAT could 3-0 Boston and Gentlemates could 3-0 Miami. Like for the side of Minnesota, the teams that they need to lose are playing very good teams. So that does help G2. I just don't think it's going to matter because I think Koi's going to beat him 3-1. So I don't think it's going to matter for them. But I will say G2, of like the 4 teams that we're looking at to probably make it into losers right now, like look at the standings, it's probably going to be Boston, G2, Cloud9, and Vancouver in losers. Minnesota, of those 4, is going to be the team that nobody wants to drop down and play compared to the other ones.
Very true.
Like, that's definitely the team that you're looking at. Like, I don't really want to drop down and play them because, like, of all the teams in losers, them in Boston or Miami or Carolina, I guess, like whichever team drops down, like G2 has shown the most glimpses of like they could be pretty good.
Mhm.
I also am a save wavelength is around right now. 3-1.
Brad, you joining
Toronto.
us?
Koi.
I
Come
think
on,
this is going to
Brad.
be an absolute Nero blinder series, but it's not going
Nero's
to
gonna
matter.
end.
I have Toronto in a 3-2.
All right. The Falcons are going to 3-0 Cloud9. They're going to keep the momentum going big time.
Yeah, that's what I have as well.
I'm surprised.
I have a 3-1.
27% people are picking
I don't
Cloud9.
know.
You have 3-1 Falcons.
Yeah, I feel like Cloud9 could get a search win.
Yeah.
Or like a, they're
boomstick.
all frying in a hard point.
I mean, they are the team. They force them at 5 damn near every series, so it's definitely not far fetched. I think they have all map 5s,
Yeah.
and they got like 3-1 to 3-0 that one time, or 3-0 by phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think LAT are going to 3-0 Boston as well. I think they're going to keep the momentum going. I think they're going to keep frying, and I think they're going to 3-0 Boston.
I like it. They got the same thing.
I just think if
I
you
have
get
3-1.
you have 3-1 LAT.
Mhm. Yeah, LED.
I just think if LAT plays at that crazy pace they played against OpTic, I just think they're going to completely out talent and overwhelm Boston. Like,
That's a good point.
Just dismantle.
yeah, like if they play at that same pace, and obviously Kenny's able to keep shooting, like, you know what I mean. Like, I just don't like if LAT is just running it down like they did against OpTic. I just can't see Boston performing better than OpTic did against it. Like, if OpTic was
Yeah.
overwhelmed by it, I can't see Boston not being overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Kick it to Sunday. Dude, this is a good weekend of matches overall. Like, both matches on Friday are good. I think Koi versus G2 could be interesting. The G2 matches always are.
Yeah.
Falcons C9 is kind of a little bit whatever. LAT Boston is an interesting one just because, like, Boston needs a win to potentially get winner's bracket, and Boston hasn't been a bad team this year. They're just kind of middle of the pack. And LAT, it'll be fun to see if they can keep up the performance from their last one. Then you kick it into Sunday. I mean, we got Miami versus Gentlemates. That should be a fun match. Carolina versus LAT should be a really fun match. And I mean, there's FaZe Vancouver. I don't know about that, but
It'll be a very fun match to watch, that one.
yeah, Tej. We got Tej in that match, so it's always fun.
True.
Brad, I got your boys falling 3-1 to Gentlemates, though.
My God, Ryan, stop stealing my scores. 3-1 I have for Miami, for not Miami, Gentlemates.
I almost picked Miami in this game for an upset. But realistically, like I was like that was pure bias. So like I just like thought about it realistically, and yeah, honestly, I had a 3-1 as well for Gentlemates.
Dude, so
The
this weekend is so fascinating here. I want to stop because this is kind of like one of the last teams we see fighting for a winner's bracket spot. So Cloud9 and Vancouver are dead for a winner's bracket since they only have one match remaining and they have one win, and there's already down to 9 teams that have 3+ wins, so they're dead for winner's bracket. G2 is a long shot,
Yeah.
but actually, like, I mean, Falcons, OpTic, and FaZe are 100% safe. I'm assuming Toronto's probably safe, I guess, unless they lose both matches. But just their map win percentage is probably going to be good enough just to get in, even if they lose both matches this weekend. Kind of the same thing for Gentlemates. Even if they lose both matches, they're probably getting in on map win percentage. And LAT, I think they probably win against at least one of Boston or Carolina, so they're probably safe. But the more chopping block for losers bracket is the 7 through 10. You're looking at Carolina, Miami, Boston, G2. The crazy thing is, all of those teams have tough weekends. Carolina's got OpTic and LAT. They're sitting in 7, so you think, oh, they're probably safe. But no, they have OpTic and LAT, so they could easily lose 2 matches. Then Miami, they have 1 match left. It's against Gentlemates. Tough match. Then Boston's
Yeah.
in 9. They have 1 match against LAT. A tough match. And then G2 sitting at 10. They play Koi. So, like, the 7 through 10 teams who are all battling for the last couple winners bracket spots are all playing, like, the top 4 teams. So, it's wild. Like, we could see just, like, all of them lose. And then just, like,
Yeah.
the standings stay the same and a couple of them limp in.
Is this the
Yeah.
major that the bottom 2 teams don't make it into?
That's major 2.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's because that's major 2, and that we'll talk about that. But get ready to learn league matches, buddy, because next split is the split where every team plays each other. So every team has like 11 matches or whatever.
I can't wait for OpTic and Thieves to somehow just bottom out and
Dude,
don't
that's
go to
the
the tournament.
CDL's worst nightmare. Like
That'd be
OpTic and FaZe
electric.
or OpTic and Thieves just somehow like bottom out of nowhere, and neither of them are at the major. Like, could you imagine that's the CDL's worst nightmare? They're going all the way over the UK. I mean, the UK will turn up regardless of who's at the event, but like, no
Yeah.
OpTic is a CDL's nightmare for viewership to sell sponsorships and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But our next match, LAT Carolina. You guys think Carolina can keep up the hot streak, or you got LAT beating them?
I got Thieves 3-1.
I got a Thieves 3-0. I
But
think they're gonna go 6.
I've been wrong. I've been wrong before.
Brad's really picking Exceed to beat LAT.
I have Carolina 3-2, baby.
You're picking BK? The BK?
You better believe it,
He's
sweetheart.
been frying.
I'm going for the upset.
Frying.
He's been cooking. Call him Chef Exceed over there.
I just who have Carolina's last 3 wins been against?
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it does.
I know G2.
Their last 3 wins. They obviously lost their first couple matches to Boston and Falcons, and then they beat Miami, G2, and Koi. I mean, they haven't beat like terrible teams, but I don't know. I just think this week is a real test. Like if Carolina come out of this weekend like 1-1, playing OpTic and Thieves, I'll be like, okay. If they come out 2-0, I'll be really impressed. I think the most likely outcome, odds wise, is probably that they're 0-2 because they're definitely an underdog in both matches. Yeah. I don't know though. According to some people's power rankings, Carolina are favored over these two teams because they had a lot of people have Carolina ahead of LAT and OpTic in their power rankings, which is fair because power rankings are pretty recency biased, and Carolina is currently on a hotter streak than either LAT or OpTic, but I don't know. My brain will not allow me to see Hydra, BZ, Kenny, and Scrap on a roster losing to Lurks, Craze, Exceed, and the boys.
You'd think so, but
I got LAT in a 3-0.
Hey Ryan, you got the 3-1 over OpTic. Maybe this is my legacy pick. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's as much of a legacy pick, just because Carolina's red hot and LAT has looked shaky up until this one match that they had last week. The LAT over OpTic pick was crazy because OpTic were the boys and LAT was like on the verge of blowing it up.
True.
This last match, I've got a 3-0 for Surge.
Same Z's.
Oh, Brad, you got a 3-0 for Surge?
Wait, 3-0 for Surge?
I'm kidding. I got a
3-0 for Vegas.
I got a 3-0 for FaZe. I wanted to bait Brad, and he agreed.
You baited me so bad there.
I feel like Teach.
I will say, seeing this matchup and thinking that FaZe are going to dominate it makes me a little sad because this Surge versus FaZe matchup for so much of the CDL was such a legendary matchup. Like, Surge always seemed to, remember when they had Pred and like overall, like Surge always seemed to play up to FaZe. Even the year that they were literally horrendous, when they had like Gunless and Octane in Cold War, and FaZe were the most dominant team. Remember they upset them on LAN at the final tournament? They knocked them out of the tournament.
Yeah.
At the final like major before champs in Cold War. Surge was the worst team in the league. They went to LAN. It was like Steeny and Gunless and Octane and Apathy or somebody else. I don't remember who it was, but they upset FaZe to knock them out top 8 on like standoff. S&D was map 5, and it was like one of the craziest upsets because FaZe was like on the most dominant run we've seen in a long time, and Surge was the worst team. And like even then, and then like remember Mac on the like Sib Pred accuracy Mac teams, like Mac used to always turn up against FaZe. Like they always had their number. So maybe the little bit of the Surge magic against FaZe from the past will sprinkle in here. I hope it does, but it's sad to see these two teams and not be like it's about to be a banger. Because remember when it was the Pred Surge team, them versus FaZe, even if like FaZe was significantly better at the time, this match was always a banger.
Yep.
It was always a banger. Brock, you got FaZe 3-0, what'd you say?
Yeah. FaZe 3-0. I'm sorry, TG, you ain't getting one.
Damn. That's rough. I mean, based on I think our consensus results overall, that means like probably Heretics limping to the final spot.
Yes.
In 8th. Carolina probably limps into the other final spot. Boston, G2, Cloud9, and Vancouver are left out, kind of how the standings are right now. We're looking at some potential interesting matchups too, like just based on where people are. Like, if gentlemates have 2 tough matches this weekend. Like, if they're able to, like, let's say they go 0-2 and they drop down to like that 7 or 8 seed, you're getting a really like shaky matchup if you're the team that gets the 1 or 2 seed and your reward is playing a team like gentlemates. Like, that's probably much better than the normal team you get to play when you're a 1 seed. Like, remember last year, if you got the 1 seed, you just got Boston in the first round. Basically, like every tournament, they were always the 8 seed,
Yeah.
and then they actually pulled off an upset like a couple of those tournaments.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. It should be a fun weekend. This is on paper looks like a really good weekend of matches, and it's also fun because when it's over, it means it's tournament time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. We will see you guys next week with probably a little bit shortened reactions because it'll be an episode focused on our predictions for the major, which is crazy. It's finally time to make some predictions for the major. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.